Corey. You talk.
All right, well, there's your entrance. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here today at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's great to see so many of you here, as we'd expect, for a fight announcement of this magnitude. We're here because on December the 3rd, we've got a huge night of heavyweight boxing. It's live on BT Sport Box Office and, of course, on ESPN Plus in the US. We have not one, but two World Heavyweight Championship fights. The return of the WBC and lineal World Heavyweight Champion Tyson Fury, defending against a man who is guaranteed to bring a war to his door, Derek Chisora, sat with me. We've got a mouth-watering sheet support. Daniel Dynamite Dubois makes the first defence of his WBA heavyweight title against a tricky South African southpaw called Kevin Lorena, who may give him fits on December the 3rd. We will find out. It's all brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensbury, along with Top Rank, and of course Bob Arum is here today as well. Tickets go on sale at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow. Do not miss this, because the last time we had a stadium fight with Tyson Fury, the tickets went like that, and we're expecting the same to happen again. As you can see, it's a heavy hitting top table here. We've got not one but two Hall of Fame boxing promoters. Bob Arum joining us from America. Yeah, let's get around the board. Why not? Why?
Two Hall of Famers in boxing under one roof. And you're looking at a Hall of Famer right here as well, a future Hall of Famer. So that's three under one roof. We're like at a convention.
So Bob Arum's here, and of course Frank Warren's here, the other Hall of Famer that Tyson referred to. And we have the challenger sat next to me here today, making his second challenge for a World Heavyweight Championship and coming off perhaps a career best win against Kubrat Pulev, the one and only Derek War Chisora, and the man who you've already heard from today, the lineal, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, the man who needs no introduction really, Tyson Fury. And Frank, let's start with you. Let's bring you in here. Give us your thoughts heading into December 3rd, another huge night on UK soil for heavyweight boxing.
I think it's a great night for boxing. You know, Tyson's the biggest attraction in world boxing by none. And here we are at another stadium where I'm hoping he's going to put on, I'm sure he will, a great performance against a guy who we know comes to fight in Derek. And I used to look after Derek, and I know that Derek feels that he's got the beat in him. Me, I think Tyson's the best heavyweight on the planet. I'm really bar none. I don't care who's opposite him. I think he's got the beating of everybody. But Derek's there to try and prove me wrong, and try and prove Tyson. But this is a great, great occasion. A fantastic fight, and it's a fight that Tyson can't afford to slip up on, because we're looking at that unification fight early next year, which doesn't give him a lot of time to prepare. So, is Derek going to be a banana skin or not? He's the highest rated available fighter for the fight. We go on box rec, and I'm going to read these out quickly. Cut through why we made this fight. Number one is Usyk. Usyk was not available. He said he couldn't find December. Anthony Joshua, we wasted a month on that. He's not available. Deontay Wilder fought last week. Andy Ruiz, who's fighting Wilder in the mandatory. Then Dillian White, who Tyson's beat. Then you've got Joe Joyce, who won't be available. He only fought recently. Ortiz, who got beat recently. Then you've got Joseph Parker, who Joe Joyce beat. And number 9 is Derek Chisora. And number 10 is Pulev. So that is the independent rankings. So that's why we are where we are, with the highest available contender, who is Derek War Chisora.
And the target, Frank? Derek, did you want to say anything there? No. Not yet. It's coming. The target, Frank, is Alexander Usyk. I believe you mentioned it there, first quarter of next year.
Well, that's where we want to be, but obviously we've got to focus on this one. And the reason Tyson's fighting is because he fought in April. The Usyk fight, if it happens, is not until next late February, March. If he didn't fight in between, it'd be nearly a year out of the ring, and that's not going to happen. He needs to fight. I gave him my word. I'll put a show on by the 3rd. That's what we've delivered. And he needs to be in the ring. He needs to fight. He's been training, and he needs, after this fight, if he comes through it, he needs to be in a position where he can get into a camp and have adequate preparation for a big fight, provided he gets through the fight.
Well, let's bring in Bob Arum, joining us from America today. Great to have you, Bob. a second consecutive stadium fight in the UK for Tyson Fury. Give us your thoughts heading into this one.
Well, this fight is in a stadium which is now dear to my heart because after 10 miserable years, my football team, the New York Giants, beat the Green Bay Packers 2 weeks ago. So I'm delighted to be here, and I'm delighted for another reason, because when I look over the great fighters we have in the United States and the attraction, I tell you this honestly, there is no fighter in the world as popular as Tyson Fury.
You talk.
And the fact that we'll be able to bring the people in the United States this fight, which I think will be a terrific heavyweight fight, to the fans in the United States, right in the middle of the college football season, so it'll get a really prominent spot on ESPN, is great for the sport of boxing, and it's great that we can do this as a Christmas present to the fans in the United States.
And what do we make of our challenger, Derek Chisora? What are your thoughts, Bob?
I have a few thoughts about it. Number one, people say, well, Tyson beat Chisora twice early on. But I say, look what Chisora did with Anthony Usyk, with Alexander Usyk. That fight was a touch-and-go fight all the way before Usyk was able to pull it out. So when then Usyk was made with Anthony Joshua, people said, hey, Usyk has no real chance because look how he struggled with Chisora. But as you saw, Usyk handled Joshua 2 times far, far easier than he matched up against Chisora. That's number one. Number two, this gives me nightmares, with all due respect to Tyson, who I love dearly. I remember years ago, Tommy Morrison had won the heavyweight, WBO heavyweight championship against George Foreman and was matched in a unification fight with Lennox Lewis for then record-setting persons. And his manager said, hey, give Tommy a tune-up fight to get him ready for Lennox Lewis. So we did in Tommy's hometown in Oklahoma against Michael Benton. And the bell rang and Tommy went across the ring and started throwing punches like mad at Michael Benton. And Bent hit him with a right hand and knocked Tommy cold. And that, that point in time, was the end of a fight with Lennox Lewis and a $10 million, which is a lot of money, purse to fight Lennox Lewis. This is boxing. Every time you match particularly heavyweights in against hard punching opponents, you have to really say a lot of prayers that something bad doesn't happen. So while I have all the confidence in the world in Tyson Fury, who I believe is the best fighter, pound for pound, in the world, I'll be as nervous as anyone the night of the fight.
Well, let's bring in our challenger, Derek Chisora. Derek, the floor is yours. You've heard that you're potentially giving Bob Arum nightmares. What are your thoughts heading into December 3rd?
I don't know. Give a shout out to Frank Warren, Bob Arum, and the Gypsy King. I'm buzzing. Talked them. We're making that support, but we did well last night. Yeah, it's a great fight. I'm buzzing. So you know, this will be a good fight. I can't really say much because they put a gag on me in the contract. So for me to go here and start saying much, I can't really. So that's how I leave it.
There was a confrontation last month at the Joyce Parker fight. You seemed to come to loggerheads at ringside where it looked like you two did say much in it, and in fact you said he's a chicken afterwards, or he chickened out. What happened?
No, I have to give you a shout. You know, Tyson has always said there's going to be a third fight, and then the fight is here now, so I'm excited. You know, I thank Tyson for giving me the opportunity to fight him. You know, give a shout out to his whole family. I'm buzzing. You know, is that bad blood? Not really, but you know, I want to take what's his and make mine. You know, so I can't box him. I can't. So I have to go with the mentality of I have to physically take what's his and make mine. You know, so for me to sit here and try and say different things, it's not the way I operate. So now I have to get in my mindset that, you know, there's going to be loads of leathers chucked, punches chucked. I'm excited about that, you know, but the end goal, I have to take what's his and make mine. That's my whole objective to this fight now. So what's his, I want to make it mine. You know, physically, mentally, I want to come and take it off him. That's how I'm training right now. You know, I want to take it. I don't want it, I want to physically take it off him. That's what I want. You know, the same way he went to LA and Vegas twice, he went there physically took what was the antidote that made it his. You know, so this is exactly what I want to do. I want to come to Tottenham and physically take what's his and make mine.
Well, let's bring in Tyson Fury. Tyson, you've heard there from Derek. He says he's going to come and physically take what is yours. Your mic is live. Over to you.
Firstly, I just want to say thank you to Frank and Bob and Queensbury and Top Rank for putting on a fantastic show here. Secondly, I'd like to say massive thank you to Frank Warren because he's the man of his word. For more than one reason, he probably started that's one because Frank Warren promised me when I returned from my short retirement that I would fight in December. We tried to fight Joshua, we tried to fight Usyk, we tried to fight a few people, but didn't want no smoke. So Frank is delivering this date on December the 3rd. So big shout out for that, Frank. And also, massive respect because in my bag here, can you bring the bag up here please? I have £10,000 in cash that I've collected today from Mr. Frank Warren. 2.5, 10. That's 10 grand in cash that Frank has brought for me today because I bet Frank Warren £10,000 that Joshua won't sign the contract. Guess what? 10 grand rich and tax free. Bet money. You know. Put that back in your bag, please, and hold it tight because that 10 grand means more to me than 10 million because I've got it in my hand physically and I want it from Frank Warren. So I think you beat me with Joe Parker the other day, so now I'll beat you with this one. So fair play, Frank. And as for me trying to sit here and sell Derek Chisora to the fans, I ain't gonna sell absolutely nothing to nobody because if we go to that bar over there and we order a treble Jack Daniels on the rocks, we know what the fuck it's going to do. We know what it's going to do. So when I say Chisora, don't forget, like, you got the so-called guys in the division that people, oh, these guys are tough guys. We offer them big fights, no smoke, no smoke. You offer it to Derek Chisora, boom, he sat here opposite me. Man's got balls. And in today's society, in this boxing game, there's a big lack of balls. And you know who you are, these people who don't want no smoke. So when Chisora, he comes and he says exactly what it says. He does what it says on the tin. He goes to war. He's changed his name from Del Boy to War. And we're going to get a war. Now, however, I did outbox him comfortably the second time. But Chisora's style has changed. And guess what? So has mine. I used to be a tip-tap boxer on the back foot, jibbing and jabbing around the ring. And I'm a HMS destroyer. So when you got two heavy forces colliding with massive bombs, and guess what? Someone's getting knocked out. That's all I'm saying, you know. If he lands a punch on me, a big swing, I'm getting knocked out. If I land a big swing on him, he's getting knocked out. So the fans are going to win here tonight. 100%, because when 70,000 fans out there, which that will sell out in one day, 70,000, second back-to-back stadium fight, and who better than the old mate Derek Chisora to have a third fight with whom I promised for years to have a third fight. Good money. Bringing it back to England again for the British economy in hard times. People will come here and spend money in London, so that helps restaurants, pubs, bars, hotels. And then Chisora's getting paid, I'm getting paid. What are we going to do? We're going to spend it in England, in the shops, bars, restaurants, pubs, nightclubs, strip clubs, whatever, how we spend our money, I don't know. So it's all staying in this country, so, you know, fair play to it. And, you know, me and Chisora's going to put on a hell of a fight, and that's it, may the best man win.
Tyson, you said that you believe you'd knock out Anthony Joshua, and that you could beat Derek Chisora in between rounds. Now, it feels like that it's got a tad more frosty recently between you. There was that ringside confrontation. Do you stand by that statement?
100%. I can beat anybody in the world. Always have been able to, and always will be able to. All the time I'm boxing, I can beat anybody. There's nobody that can touch me. I'm on a lead of my own, I believe. And, you know, he done very well against Usyk. And may I say, who the hell is Usyk when he's at home? People don't even know his name until he beat the bodybuilder the other day. He was a little small heavyweight who was not going to do anything against AJ when Chisora fought him. But then he stepped up and beat the big bodybuilder, and all of a sudden he's a killer. I don't think so. Listen, I rate Derek Chisora as highly as I rate Usyk. And I will train as hard for Derek as I would do anyone in the world. And if I didn't, I'd have to be an absolute idiot. I will not underestimate Derek Chisora. And what Bob's talking about with Michael Benn, Tommy Morrison, no disrespect to both of them, but if you combine them both, you won't make my left shin. So that ain't happening, because I prepare correct. And I prepare hard, and I do everything correct. I don't cut any corners. But when I go in there, I leave everything in the ring, and God forbid I got beat. It won't be for the fact that, oh, I had an injury or I didn't train hard enough. It'd be the fact that I lost to a better man on the night. So I wish Chisora all the luck in the world, and we're going to have a fight, and that's it. Going to be a good fight too, because he don't shy away, and I'm running nowhere, so someone's getting changed.
Derek, let me ask you this, right? Tyson's taken centre stage there.
You should.
Well, what do you see when you look at him now? If you have a little look at Tyson Fury, what do you see when you look at that man? The man you know.
He's shrunk a little bit.
A handsome rogue.
He's shrunk a little bit.
Anything else?
He's shrunk.
Have you seen any vulnerabilities in his last few fights? Is he the same guy that beat you 8 years ago?
He got a chip on his shoulder, Tyson, about AJ. I don't understand why. I think the whole Bob Arum and Frank Warren have a massive chip about AJ. I don't understand why. Why is that funny?
Like a ball of shit.
You're sort of sad, you know.
Listen, I believed him. It cost me 10 grand. I thought he was going to fight.
Yeah, but it's complicated, you know.
Anyway, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but
You don't even want to worry about it. All you need to worry about is one thing. This man to my right. That's all you need to worry about.
Frank. I don't worry about anybody. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, like, put me in a room with so many guys, I don't worry about anything. I am that guy.
If I was fighting, I'd worry about it.
I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy, he can punch and he can box, he's a fighting machine.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We shall see.
Do you know what, guys? You two need to get a room, because it wasn't so long ago when I was stood up here on my own, little old boy from Manchester, and you two versus me. And now how the tables have turned. The tables have turned. It was all of a sudden, yeah, just all knocking out. And now look! The big man is in the stage, get on! And now, like Chisora once said, I have the big fish for to behind me. So thank you very much.
The only thing Frank Warren doesn't have on is a dress. Because you go enjoy his money. I said the only thing you don't have on is a dress, my friend. Because you go anywhere, there's money, my friend.
Oh, shots fired.
I say the only thing you don't have on is a dress. Because wherever there's money, you will go there. You get it? Everybody got it.
I thought that was your game. You know, I never get this is one thing I never done, is go and hoard myself, Derek. Go and look in the mirror, son. Go and look in the mirror. All you need to do now, Derek, is get yourself ready for the third.
What? How do you?
Third, you be there. We're going to fight.
Well, you know what? We should get Eddie Hunt on the phone and figure out how we're going to sell out the stadium. Let's get Eddie Hunt on the phone.
I think he's actually trying to ring it, you know.
Derek, he can't help you. He can't help you. He can't help you. You've got to fight the big man. He ain't going to be able to do nothing for you. He's gone into hiding.
He can help you. He sells the stadiums every day.
But Derek, you understand Frank's delivering you a world title fight the second time in your career.
Mate, we know what's
Listen, yeah, Frank is delivering Derek the second world title, and all that he earned to do was try and use him as cannon fodder. Didn't deliver anything, did he? It was Frank who delivered the first world title shot against Klitschko, and then the second world title shot against GK for the BBC belt.
I got it. I delivered myself. Man.
Rubbish.
I'm only here because of my son. Not because I'm here. I'm here because you called me and said, listen, I'm doing a fight. You have to speak to mommy and daddy. And then you got mommy and daddy with you. But you see anyone with me? No. That's mommy and daddy though. And then you don't think it's the son. So that's why I'm here. You told me I should speak to mommy and daddy. And now we're here. So it's cool. You understand?
Oh, by the way, what happened to this? Oh, Tyson Fury never offered me no fight. You little bullshit artist. I spoke to your manager on the phone. And yeah, I don't know where he is. I don't know what he looks like.
He's there. KD!
Who?
KD!
KD was on the FaceTime to me wherever KD is.
He's there. He's right next to the
So he knows.
KD, take that bag of money.
That he's offered this fight.
Take that bag of money. We're talking. Take that bag of money. Don't worry.
He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows the fight was offered, and Chisora was saying, "Oh, Tyson's a bipolar. He doesn't. He says a load of shit." But here we are again. The fight's been offered, and now you've accepted. So guess what? I'm not bipolar, am I? Because we're making it. It's done. Derek has signed the contract. You talk.
Sit down. Sit down.
I'm sick of sitting down. Spent 4 hours on a train. I'm standing.
Tyson, same question to you. What do you see when you look over here at Derek Chisora, a man that you've seen so many times in your life? What do you see now when you look at him?
I'm not going to sit here and call Derek Chisora names, because I won't. I fought the man twice, and I respect Derek, and I'm actually a fan of Derek Chisora. When this man fights, even when he was fighting my mate Joe Parker, I wanted them both to do well, which is crazy. A draw would have been the best outcome for me because I support them both. And you only can look at Derek Chisora's resume and respect him like that. He's fought everybody. He's fought the greats of this generation and other people as well. And he always comes and brings his A game. So how many? Chisora's had 12 losses on his record, but 8 or 9 of them have been to world heavyweight champions, or past champions, or former champions, or future champions. So you've got to respect him, and that's it. I've got nothing bad to say about Derek. I think he's a good fighting man and he brings his A game every time. Whether it's going to be good enough to beat me, I don't think so. Because no disrespect to him or anybody, I just don't think any of these people can beat me. In my reign right now, I'm reigning supreme. And I'll beat him. And then when I beat the little middleweight guy, people are going to say to me, oh, he was too small, he was half your size. Let's not give him anything for it. He was always going to win. That's what they'll say, 100%. I've seen it so many times. Just like when I beat Wilder, all of a sudden Wilder was shit. He never was any good. And now he's knocked out Laney, so all of a sudden he's a killer again. But I've slain the killer. Slain him. So who knows? Get Chisora out of the way, he might be a fourth Deontay Wilder fight. People say to me, you beat Derek Chisora twice already. Why are you fighting him again? Who wants to see that? But I say to you, I beat Deontay Wilder 3 times. 2 times in a draw, whatever you want to say. But who here would not want to see me versus Wilder for a 4th time? Not very many people. So, we're here, we're going to fight, we're going to sell out this stadium, and we're going to put a good show on right before Christmas. And I'm going to go home and have a good Christmas with my family, and Derek can have the same with his. Happy days.
Derek, do you have any questions for Tyson?
No. I'm just getting ready my mindset for this fight.
What is the mindset? War?
No. mindset has to be so strong, you know what I'm saying? You know, my mindset is going to be so tough, on the night, I think you see me tough about this, not this time is going to be so tough, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, it's like our bag, you be 10 grand there. I'm just thinking right now. It's our bag in the Tottenham with 10 grand there. You're going to get on the table with no money. I want that money. It's a mindset. I was already plotting on trying to rob that 10 grand when I was saying
You don't need to rob it. You don't need to rob the man. I'm giving you a fortune in it. It's not drawn to do something. You get paid.
I'm going to explain to you this year. I want to take that and make money. You know, that 10 grand.
Take it then.
But I don't want you to give it to me. I want to take it.
Take it. I'm the black belt in jiu-jitsu. Take it off it.
Don't worry, man. I'm a black belt and crazy. Listen, so you understand the mindset. The mindset is unbelievable right now. It's crazy right now. So I'm just positive. You will see. You will see. You know, it's going to be toe to toe. 100%. I'm positive of this fight.
You think you can knock him out?
I have to knock him out. I'm going to drop it, yeah.
Have you seen stuff in his recent fights? Because you picked against him. You picked against him with Dillian White. You picked against him with Sam Joshua. Have you seen something?
No, I'll beat him. Yeah, I'll beat him. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to stop him. I'm going to knock him out. 100%. I'm going to knock him out. And when I do knock him out, don't say anything else. Just say thank you. And say congratulations.
I'll say thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to knock him out. 100%. I'm going to knock him out.
Good stuff.
All right, Tyson, well, look, over to you. You're right in reply to that. And what are your sort of final thoughts heading into this fight? How do you see it playing out when the first bell rings December 3rd?
Listen, if he says he's going to knock me out, I want to see him do it. And if he does, I'll be the first one to congratulate him, shake his hand and say well done. Listen, I'm expecting a good fight. A good entertaining night of boxing in Britain again, in the second stadium back to back. I knew better than Derek Chisora to do it with. Man, he turned up. Only thing I'll say is, don't get any injuries and don't get second thoughts, turn up on the night and the fans are playing. Not even right. Wow.
All right, well, let's sign out with Frank Warren and Bob Arum. Bob, I'll come to you first. Give us your final thoughts ahead of this one, December 3rd.
Well, you know, it's really a great experience because these guys know how to talk. And I just hope that the fight will be as interesting as the discussion that we've heard today. And I think it will. I really look forward to a very, very exciting fight. It can't be anything else. Derek has said that the way to his victory is to knock Tyson out. And Tyson, you've seen what he's done in his last fights, knocking out his opponents. People love knockouts. That's what they're going to see on December 3rd. So we're going to see a really great competitive fight.
And just for the record, guys, I will do what Pulev and Usyk couldn't, and Parker. I will knock him out. That's it.
Frank, if you want to close on this, and also, are we heading into a territory now where this could be, if not the final, but one of the final times we'll see Tyson in the UK?
Well, it comes through this one, then obviously the next one looks like it may be abroad, so if it does, he's going to be out there for a little while. I'm sure he'll want to come back to see the fans, but you won't see him on these shores for a little while. But having said that, all you need to do is to see Tyson in action, is be here on the 3rd. One thing for sure, it's going to be a knockout. It will be a knockout. This fight is not going the distance.
All right, Derek, anything you want to get off your chest before we close up?
Okay, take that back.
There's a man with £10,000 sweating.
He's a black belt in YouTube, but it's okay, you're a black belt in crazy. Take it back. Put your back.
got a black belt, no he can't.
What's that?